This week was all about Thursday's CPI, Consumer Price Index, the market's favorite inflation report. Over the last year, no report has caused more market and rate volatility than CPI. This installment was especially important as it helped to confirm further that inflation is continuing to fall, as has been reflected in the last two reports. Thursday's CPI data, along with last Friday's jobs report, helped mortgage rates rally to their best levels in 4 months. So, one question I've gotten lately is, given these indicators that inflation is falling, why is the Fed still planning to hike their short-term interest rate at the upcoming meeting here in a couple weeks? And in addressing this question, I think it's important to understand the Fed's desire to impact current market conditions versus how market analysts are viewing the economy years down the road. The Fed has been very concerned about repeating the mistakes of the 80s, back when Paul Volcker's Fed claimed victory on inflation too early and started slashing rates. Inflation skyrocketed, forcing them to then hike their short-term rate much higher than they had previously planned. Therefore, Powell has been insistent about not only continuing to hike the federal funds rate, but then holding it at that elevated level for as long as needed until inflation starts to fall down to their target range. Now, counter to the Fed's short-term interest rates, mortgage rates are based on long-term economic forecast. Investors of mortgage-backed securities are looking years down the road, and they're moving to the anticipation that inflationary pressure will continue to fall, improving economic projections. Now, even though the markets understand the Fed's desire to hold that terminal rate for a longer period, some new projections have the Fed slashing their federal funds rate as early as September. Now, keep in mind, this rate momentum is going to require for economic data to continue to show inflation is falling. Now, these first 2 weeks of the year have been a strong start for mortgage rates in our housing market. I mean, what a great start to the year. You have any questions about these headlines, about these new rate trends, or if you want to discuss your own purchase options? Let's talk.